Hey, so the 6 mm balsa filtration system as utilized in 6 mil Rossi and Savinelli pipes. What is my review and my opinion on them? They're terrible. They cause more problems than they solve. They're just not that great. I'll explain that now. So, why would somebody want a balsa or any type of filter in their pipe to begin with? The primary reason is going to be capture and reduction of moisture. Pipe smoking itself in its entirety is a little bit of a task managing activity. You gotta have a cadence to your smoking to make sure that your ember stays lit and not too hot. You also have to make sure that you're controlling your moisture content. This primarily is done before you even smoke your pipe, making sure that your tobacco that you load isn't too moist or wet. You may have to dry that out during whatever type of methods or time periods you deem necessary. Now, during your smoke, it's unavoidable. There is going to be moisture. This is kind of a good thing when it comes to properly cured and tasty tobaccos. Now, during the smoke, you would be periodically going down through your stem, past your shank, almost to the bowl, and retrieving moisture that will otherwise dement the flavor of your tobacco. It's going to make your smoking experience unpleasant. And mostly, what people really want to get rid of is mitigating something called tongue bite. This is where you're going to get a hot shot of steam that's coming from that cooked moisture in the tobacco, blasting up the shank and the draft hole, and it's going to plow your tongue and your gums. Not fun. So that's where a filter is going to come into play. It's going to be there to capture moisture. How does the 6 mil make its attempt at doing this? Well, from your shank, it's going to open up. It's going to open up in a way that it's going to accommodate the points of this three-sided balsa filter to get right up in there. And then this goes back. And presto bango, we've got a filtered pipe, right? Well, for a time. And that's based on, provided a couple things happen. So how it's intended to work is those 3 points are going to grab on the interior diameter of where your stem and shank have opened up. And the smoke is going to pass over the flat bits here. Now, one of the 2 problems is that this is not of an adequate size to capture enough moisture. So this will get overwhelmed. It's not an if, but when. The other problem is you notice these flat sides here. Okay, so if you don't have your 6 mil filter just in the right spot, and if it doesn't move or creep forward or backwards, then you'll be good. But if it does move backwards or forwards too much as you reassemble or at any point during your smoke, the flat edge is going to hit your draft hole in the shank or where the draft hole cavity narrows back up in the stem, at which point you've got total blockage. So once I had enough of that problem, I went with the spacer that comes with your Savinelli or Rossi pipes. Now this is intended to take up that space, and it goes in, and now, okay, great, we're just gonna kick it old school, and we're going to grab our pipe filter and go down in there, and we're gonna clean out, right? Now, the issue that I have with this, and it's not doing it now, just because I'm filming, but the issue that I was experiencing with those spacers, be it with my Savinelli or my Rossi pipe, is the pipe cleaner doesn't want to go all the way down. See, this one's doing it. So when you're in the middle of your smoke and you gotta kind of take a break, you gotta sit there and you just gotta fumble futz around with a pipe cleaner to retrieve moisture and get back to the activity of smoking. And for me, I'm mostly an active smoker. I don't just sit down with a book. I'm not in a study doing work from home stuff. I'm driving or I'm operating heavy equipment or I'm working on a dump truck or something like this. So that's where I'll have a pipe hanging out of my mouth while I'm doing stuff. And I don't like breaking my stride to have to, deal with collecting moisture out of a pipe more than I have to. So this pipe right here, I retired it. I'm pretty close to just throwing it in the garbage with this Design Berlin. Now this Design Berlin pipe has an 9mm filter. Now the advantages with the 9mm filter system is that first and foremost, it can accommodate all the moisture that you're going to get because we have all this surface area from all these slots that are right in there. The other thing, when you look at this filter from the side, you notice how we have this angular cut? Well, that angular cut makes sure that as the filter, if it's going to hit a flat wall where the draft hole closes back up and narrows back up, it's not going to block where the draft hole is at. It can't block. There's no flat edges, unlike with the 6mm guy. So I only really have 2 pipes that are filtered that I use at all, and that's this Design Berlin, and then I have a bent Peterson pipe that has the 9mm filter. And I personally, I don't really see myself investing in any more. I would rather just have a normal classic pipe that's just manufactured very well, particularly when it comes to this Savinelli Bing. I gotta be honest, I straight up have buyer's remorse about it. However, the silver lining is it helped me refine what types of pipes I like. I'm relatively new to pipe smoking, and through investing in pipes like this and just a lot of other types of pipes, I figured out that I primarily, my thing is a straight pipe. I like straight billiards, I like Bing pipes, I like Canadians, I like Dublins, right? So this guy is really also out of my rotation. I altogether don't like how it's made in a couple different ways. This is not what Bing actually smoked. But then also one time I was driving and doing a relight and my hand knocked the bowl and that made the whole shank rotate against the stem. So as you're driving down the highway and you're going like 72 miles an hour on a straightaway that's about to stop being a straightaway, now you have the added issue of like, okay, now I'm dealing with this. So that's where this guy goes away. And I mean, this is like my pride and joy. This is probably my favorite pipe. I cannot get enough of just staring at this Bruno Nutton's Bing pipe. Incredibly well crafted, absolutely gorgeous. When you Google image Bing Crosby pipe smoking, Bing Crosby pipe, this is what you're gonna see. You're gonna see a nice pencil shanked billiard that has a very pronounced metallic band on it and a wide acrylic stem, okay? And just masterfully made. Can't say enough good things about it. Love it so much, and this is really, really something else. So that's my review. This is based on my experience and my experience only with the 6mm filters. The advantages are slim to none. The disadvantages are many. Just do not invest in a pipe that has a 6mm filter. If you're new to pipe smoking and you want one less thing to think about, or if you're like me and at times you're an active smoker and you're outside doing yard work or whatever it may be, you don't want to be going into your pocket for a pipe cleaner, dealing with it, then getting back to your task at hand. You don't want to break that stride. go ahead and invest in 9mm filters. And at that, stick with the balsa, because these are not going to clog like charcoal filters. And these are also not going to capture and rob you of flavor. The charcoal filters truly do filter the smoke. When you're thinking of balsa filters, you got to think of it in terms of like a fuel filter on your car. Does a fuel filter in your car make sure that it protects your engine from contaminants and debris that could be in your fuel tank? Sure. But what is the primary objective of having a fuel filter in your car, and what does it actually capture and keep out of your engine? And that's going to be moisture, that's going to be condensation, that's going to be water in any shape or form that it may get into your fuel tank. That's what you're going for with balsa filters. You want all the flavor, none of the discomfort, and all the convenience of not having to repeatedly go into your pipe with a pipe cleaner. That's my video. This is actually a re-upload because I just was not satisfied with the first one that I did. And if you're still watching, leave me a comment, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.